What's going on, Nerd Nation? My name is Trey Quintero, and I'm bringing you a review for Batman Assault on Arkham. This came out on digital a couple weeks ago, and it is on Blu-ray and DVD combo pack Tuesday, so I decided to pick it up, give it a run, and give you guys my thoughts. So here we go. So really, first off, this should have been called Suicide Squad Shit Gets Real, but I mean, if you put Batman on it, it's going to make more money than otherwise, so I get it. There's really just a lot of chaos and madness going on in this one, which kind of doesn't leave much gravity with the plot. Everything's kind of like spread out, and there's not a whole lot to go on to because there's so many villains and characters since they're invading Arkham. There's a lot of different, people making appearances, but it's not to the point where it feels like it's fan service. So I don't mind so much that all these people make appearances. It's just that it doesn't leave anything with you when it's done. The plot is just kind of shallow. Now, even though this isn't my favorite feature from DC in this universe, you still get this really high standard of quality that they do with their features, and it's something that you don't really see in Marvel, which kind of makes me sad because I grew up in Marvel, I was raised in Marvel, and I know all this stuff about them, and then I kind of got booted over to DC a little bit, and I'm just seeing like all these animated feature films and like this like production quality, and everything's really impressive and engaging and amazing, and it's hard to go back to that. So I'm glad, even though the story is not my favorite, we're still seeing like this really high standard of production and value and quality and everything that they're doing. And the first point that I want to make about that is the voices. I mean, that's really the only point that I want to make about it, because it's kind of a given if you say it's a DC animated film that it's going to have good voice acting. Like, they don't do subpar voice performances. They don't hire C-listers to play their characters. It's just kind of what they do, and that's what keeps bringing people like me back into them. So Master Conroy returns as Bruce Wayne. He's very, very underplayed in this, which again is why it should have been called Suicide Squad, because Batman shows up a few times, not much. Of course, he's gonna save the day and all that good stuff, but he doesn't have a huge role. Like, we don't follow Batman around very much. That's why it kind of bugs me that it's called Batman. So I don't even have to say anything. Conroy absolutely kills it. Troy Baker comes back from Arkham Origins, and he's playing the Joker again, and I freaking love this guy as the Joker. I might be the only one who likes him more than Mark Hamill as the Joker, even though that's who's played the Joker forever. Something about hearing him do the Joker.
For someone who's not Batman, you've been a real pain in my ass.
It just makes my spine tingle, and I love it so much, and it makes me want to go back and play Origins because he's really good, and he's got like a different, I don't want to say twist, but he's got a different approach to it, I think, than Mark Hamill does. And it's not that one's better than the other, it's just a preferred style, I suppose, that I really enjoy Baker's work on stuff like that. Really, the entire voice cast is good, but I do want to touch on Matthew Gray Gubler, or is it Gubler? Gubler or Gubler? I don't know. He is that nerdy guy on Criminal Minds. Yes, Criminal Minds. He's that guy, and he's perfect for the Riddler. Like, I would have never thought you would use him for any character really, but he works out really nicely. I wish there was more of him. You kind of just get some at the beginning and at the end, and that's it. It's really good. He does good.
Here's an easy one. What runs around a city but never moves? No? A wall.
Another thing that I like that Suicide Squad is doing is fleshing out Deadshot as a character, because since I've known him, he's always been kind of just an orbital, entity. Like, he's not really anything that you would ever focus on. He's just kind of, hey, we need another bad guy. Let's draw up a bad guy. You know what I mean? And so it's really cool to see a focus on him. I actually have Suicide Squad. I have not even had a chance to look at it yet. So I don't know if this feature ties in more with Suicide Squad, or if it ties more into the Arkham games, because that's what it's supposed to be based on. I looked into, like, I tried to find in the film a clue, a hint as to like when it takes place in relation to the games. I had nothing. It was like a clean cut, something completely different. So you're probably, unless you look really hard, you're probably not going to find anything there. Another thing that I'm starting to notice as time progresses with these DC features is, you know, they've already been kind of maturing, I guess, with their audience. Like, there's more blood, more violence, more cursing, but what I'm starting to also see is that there's a lot more suggestive themes going on in these little features, and that's actually not a problem. It's cool to see DC, they're having their universe find its place within a more mature world and audience, and that's very cool to see, because it hits it and it lands very well, because these suggestive scenes aren't, you know, to the detriment of the piece itself, which is really surprising. That's something that I personally think anime has a problem with. I really cannot stand a lot of any of that, because it's just so like boobs and upskirts, and it's just like it completely ruins. There's like no integrity in the plot line, but that's something that my friends have yelled at me about, and so I'm not going to get into it now. But it's really, I think it adds to it. It doesn't take away anything from it. I think it helps set itself more into an adult audience, which is really cool to see. Like yes, Batman was, you know, more aimed at kids during, you know, back in the olden days, but now, you know, as its audience has matured, like, these are who these people would be in the real world, and that's really cool to see. Really, the two main problems that I had with this are that the plot was just kind of there, and it explodes in your face, phrasing, and you kind of just have to grab it, plot points, and it's just all thrown together, and it's not really cohesive or anything. I mean, it makes sense what's happening, but it's like, why would you make a movie about this? Is kind of dumb. So that's kind of a bummer. It's still watchable, still worth buying. Don't get me wrong there. It's just the events that they chose to make the movie about. That, and just the music is just ridiculously stupid, over the top, and not in like a cheesy way, like an 80s montage where it's, you know, it's supposed to like add to the humor or whatever. It's just metal 90s solos as they're picking up their weapons and loading up and getting all the ammo, and it's just way over the top, and it completely broke me out of the film. Other than that, I had no problem with this one. Probably go ahead and give it a good 4 out of 5. It was about $20, the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and the Blu-ray comes with a special look at the history of Harley Quinn, which is really cool. You get to see how they brought her into the TV show at first, and then they mentioned how, like, for the first time in like 30 or 40 years, she was the first character to really stick to canon, and everyone just accepted her, and so they brought her into the comics, and she became like a staple. And then they decided to make her do her own thing in Suicide Squad, which is really cool. And you're also going to get a look at the new Justice League movie. It's called Throne of Atlantis, which looks freaking amazing. Like, this looks really good. This might be better than War. You're going to follow Aquaman, obviously. I forget his name though, Arthur. I'm not a big Aquaman guy. It looks really good though. You're gonna follow him as he discovers who he is within Atlantis, and he like discovers the Justice League, and it was pretty freaking sweet. I would go ahead and get it on the Blu-ray if you have the opportunity, considering it's the same price and you get digital anyway. You can just give the DVD and digital to your friends. Doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, 4 out of 5. It's about $20. I would definitely go say, at least rent it. Don't torrent. At least rent, you know, be an adult and pay some amount of money to watch it. It's not that expensive. And speaking of which, we'll go ahead and do a little giveaway for the Ultraviolet HD code for Batman Arkham Assault on Arkham. Sorry. If you guys want this digital copy, you can have my digital copy. All you have to do, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment and tell me who your favorite Batman character is. Don't let it be Joker and don't let it be Batman. Let's try and get a little creative about it. But yeah, subscribe, leave me a comment, favorite Batman universe character, and a winner will be chosen at random. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was my quick review of 4 Batman Assault on Arkham. If you like this video, please do me a huge favor, hit the like button and definitely hit the subscribe button, and share us with your friends. Share all the cool nerdy goodness that RPG works really hard to put out for you guys. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and if you have any content requests, if you want to see us review or play anything, whatever you want, you can just email us at rumblepackteam@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on any of the other social networks. We will try our hardest to put out whatever you guys want to see. Until next time, I'm Trey Quintero. Thank you for watching.